We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Are we rolling?
Rolling.
Can't be rolling if you're messing with the microphone. Welcome everyone to yet another episode of the Nerd Out With Me 90s cast. I'm Eric.
I am Tig.
We are here in October of 1990. I think by now everyone understands what our journey is, right?
I would hope so.
120 episode journey through the 1990s, taken month by month on a weekly basis, right?
Yes, weekly.
So every week we tackle a different month moving forward, starting from January 1990
to December of 1999.
Good job understanding how the calendar works. You're the best. And every week we talk about some interesting stuff like what movies were coming out that month, TV shows that debuted that month or something like that, video games,
comics, shoes,
all news of the day, stuff like that.
Food,
yada yada yada. Food. Speaking of food, look what I look what I bought the other night. Look what they have now. But it's not Nutter Butters. Nutter Butter wafers.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I went to the store last night because I had munchies and
clearly,
and I like peanut butter stuff. So I went to go get some what do you call them? Funny Bones. The Funny Bones. Yep. And while I was there, I was like, I should get other peanut butter stuff because you can't have just one peanut butter thing. So I went to go get Nutter Butter. I went to go look for peanut butter cookies that weren't Nutter Butters. Nutter Butters are my favorites.
Yeah.
But I like other peanut butter cookies. And so I was going up and down the cookie aisle and I was like, wait a minute. Nutter Butter wafers. Look at them.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You may.
Ooh, they're nice and... you break one off for me because I'm going to destroy it with my big fat fingers.
There you go.
They're light and fluffy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Wafers.
For people listening, if you might not be able to see that he was holding up these beautiful... They're delicate.
They're very light.
Yeah, they're nice, huh?
They're good because there's not a ton of peanut butter in them. It's like just enough.
They're pretty tasty. They're
not overwhelming.
They're not bad. I felt guilty when I was looking at the calorie information on the back.
I can only imagine.
I'm trying not to be a fatty, but...
That's the problem with these is you can eat a ton because you feel like they're just nice light wafers. But yeah.
And they go down easy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They go down. Well, see, and for me that's like Funny Bones too. And a whole box of Funny Bones is only like $3. Why do I still have these headphones in? What the hell is wrong with me? I just realized that I still had headphones
in. That's all right.
A whole box of Funny Bones is only like $3, and I think that box is something. What is it? Like, I don't know, 2,600 calories or something like that. And it's easy.
God.
It's easy to eat the whole box because they're delicious. I love them, and sometimes you just get that craving. Craving
for Funny Bones.
Yeah. So anyway, before getting off on that tangent, we're talking about the things we talk about. If you visit us on patreon.com/nerdoutwithme, you'll find our Patreon page and you can see all the various awesome bonusy stuff, like bonus episodes each and every week where we talk about fun, cool, extra topics, monthly bonus YouTube episodes, unedited footage of us recording these things.
Christ.
So this week's episode, we have some interesting stuff to talk about. In our first segment, we're going to talk about the debut of the Sega Game Gear.
Yeah. Are you excited?
No, I'm not excited about anything.
No? Nothing?
I'm miserable. I have medical problems. I have medical issues. But we're going to talk. But I'm a Sega guy, so I'm glad to be talking about the Sega Game Gear. After that, we're going to stick with video games. Because in our second segment, we're going to talk about The Secret of Monkey Island, which is pretty rad.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to talk about that. And in our final segment, we're going to talk about the debut of a show that is totally 90s. Beverly Hills 90210.
Sideburns.
Oh, man.
When the fad of the sideburns started.
Totally. And for Patreon subscribers, our bonus segment this week is going to be on the remake of Night of the Living Dead and the cult classic Troll 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
And possibly there will be some nudity.
Psychological, though.
Well, yeah. We can't legally have real nudity.
No?
Legally, no. Yeah, it's not allowed.
We'll have to cut that.
Yeah, probably so. So I feel like that's would you term it an exciting episode?
I am very excited.
Holy shit. You're not even going to believe what happened.
I wasn't recording.
Yeah, that's right. But that's all right. I'll use this audio. So
That's true.
yeah. So, boy, that is hilariously embarrassing. So we'll come back next segment with proper audio. Sorry,
Yay!
folks. Bye. Damn it.
Attention consumers. Certain portable gaming systems are being dressed up in order to distract the buyer from their ordinary one-color play. What could be next? Little flower print dresses? Black leather restraining devices? Fresh baked olive loaf? Don't be fooled. Get Sega Game Gear. Basic black on the outside. Hundreds of exciting full-color games radiating from the inside. And we promise no sleazy little get-ups that scream, "Hello, big boy. Get Game Gear." Sega!
Welcome back, everyone. I totally screwed up the first segment.
It's okay. Eric has Ebola, so...
Yeah, I did not hit record on our audio recording. So the first segment might sound slightly odd.
It's for effect.
In fact, let me do this, and I'll put this before it.
Oh, God.
Hey, just so everyone knows, this first segment might sound different than the rest of the segments because I forgot to hit record. So, for the very first segment of the show, you're listening to the audio from the camera because Eric is an idiot.
Wah, wah.
So there you go. All right, so back to what we were supposed to talk about. Oh, man, I can't believe I did that.
That's okay.
Usually I'm on top of things.
Listen.
I was distracted by Nilla wafers and medical problems.
We do this in an attic for peanuts.
Peanut butter.
For peanut wafers.
For peanut butter. Hey, wait a minute. Did you get some of my peanut butter out of this? Because these wafers look empty. Did you? What the hell? There's no peanut butter in these ones.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, well, so do you know what came out in Japan October 6th of 1990?
I do now.
I know you know now, but for folks listening at home, October 6th, 1990 was the debut in Japan of a very special system. I don't know. Well, no, it actually kind of is a very special system. It was underrated at the time, and now in retrospect, I think retro gamers are coming to appreciate how awesome it was. And that was the Sega Game Gear, Sega's 8-bit handheld that was meant to compete with the Nintendo Game Boy, which of course it couldn't actually do.
I was going to say, now, you didn't have one, right? Like, you never had a Game Gear, did you? Like when you were a kid?
No.
Like, you had a Game Boy.
Right.
Even though you were a Sega kid.
I had a Game Boy as an adult. I didn't even have a Game Boy as a kid.
Okay, so you didn't have any handhelds as a kid.
Right.
Okay. So, because Game Gear... I don't remember anybody having a Game Gear when I was a kid. Everybody had a Game Boy. I think there were one or two kids that had a Game Gear when they came out.
Yeah, they didn't sell great. Game Gears didn't sell great.
And when they did, it was one of those things where they almost were made fun of for having a Game Gear.
Well, yeah, because people were like, why do you have that?
Yeah, it was
like the rest of the world has a Game Boy.
Right. Which seems silly because they're actually pretty...
The Game Gear was a fantastic system.
Yeah. The
Game Gear was pretty much a Sega Master System crammed into a handheld.
And I would assume the only downfall, aside from the Nintendo craze at the time, was that the battery probably didn't last as long.
The battery didn't last a super long time because it was a full color system.
Right, so back then especially.
But I mean, in fact, one cool thing about the Game Gear was that you could play Sega Master System games on it with an adapter. Plug in full cartridges and play that.
Which is insane.
It was a really cool system. Again, it was full color screen. I think at the time, only the Atari Lynx and then the Turbo Express also were full color. Of course, the Nintendo Game Boy wasn't. And it had a really great game library of games that were exclusive to this system. And then going back retrospectively, you go back and you play some of those Game Gear versions of the games, and a lot of them were really good. There were some good Sonic games on there. There were some good ports from the Master System. It was a pretty cool system, but like you said, like nobody had it.
I'm curious how much it was compared to Game Boy.
Boy, I don't remember. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot it even had a TV tuner.
Yeah, that's what I was just seeing on there. That it says Game Gear turned out to be the first portable system that allowed games from another platform to be played on the go.
Well, in the U.S. it was $150.
Okay.
which seems reasonable now, but you think like in 1990
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
a lot of money, and the Game Boy was so cheap, it was like $50.
Right, which is why everybody got it for Christmas.
Yeah. As far as like power and stuff were concerned, Game Boy had 1,000,001 games and it was super popular, so that's why you would have it. But like from a technical point of view, the Game Gear was the better system. When you go back and you play the Game Gear games now, whether it be on an emulator or if you're collecting them, and a lot of people now collect Game Gear games. It's sort of on the rise. You find that they're actually really good games.
Done.
There's a couple for Sega fans. There's actually some exciting stuff on Game Gear that was pretty neat. I didn't find out until much later, but when I found out about them, I was like super stoked. In Japan, there were 2 Phantasy Star games that came out, only in Japan, unfortunately, for the Game Gear. Phantasy Star, of course, was the big RPG series for Sega. That was like Sega's claim to fame at the time, was their competition of Final Fantasy, and graphically, like it was.
I think they were in your top 10 Sega.
Oh, it definitely would be. Yeah, it was amazing. And there were 2 games that came out only for the Game Gear that were Phantasy Star games. One was sort of a little more traditional, like the original Phantasy Star, and the other one was like more like a point-and-click adventure.
Okay.
Which was kind of neat. So you have some Game Gear facts and trivia.
Facts and trivia. 10 things you didn't know about the Game Gear. Let's find out if you knew about these 10 things.
Let's see.
Did you know that in its conception days, the system was originally known as Project Mercury?
Not offhand. I don't think I knew that.
Like you mentioned before, the time of the production, Sega released an optional TV tuner for the system.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Think about that. 1990.
Okay, now, it had a tuner, like, it could... Because back then, you could get signals from an antenna.
You still can.
Right, but now they're high def, but back then it was like... So you could technically be driving in your car to your grandparents' house...
Yeah.
Have a TV tuner and just watch TV?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Think of that in the 90s, like 1990.
1990.
You're watching TV in your car.
Literally, you're just months out of the 80s.
Yeah. Watching TV in your car. But screw that. Think of watching TV in your car now. Like, that's not really, like, a thing going on. Like, you could pull up, like, but you could literally just be watching a TV show.
Well, that's true, because now you'd be doing, like, Netflix or whatever. You'd be some
but I mean, like,
thing.
this is live. This is not live, but...
And you'd be chewing up all your data doing it, too.
Right. This was just free broadcast television.
Yeah.
That's an amazing idea. Why didn't that catch on?
That's pretty cool.
I would have paid for it just for that.
See?
Seriously.
Maybe you should go back in time and support Sega.
That's an amazing. This is a very unique idea for something.
Yeah, no, it's definitely really cool. It had a converter, so you can plug Sega Master System games into it, which is pretty cool. I mean, could you imagine with a Game Boy being able to plug like NES games into it and play it?
A portable NES.
Of course, the NES cartridges were like twice the size of the Game Boy. But that would be really cool. Yeah, it was a cool system. It was expensive. So
right, I understand.
And it chewed through batteries like
right. I could only imagine especially back then, it must have blew through batteries.
Yeah, and it took a lot. I don't, I have to look up, but I want to say it was at least like 6 AA batteries.
Wow.
It required 6 AA's and could only run for 3 to 5 hours. Actually, 3 to 5 isn't that bad.
No,
but considering the Game Boy could run for like 10.
Because the graphics were...
Yeah, it was simple. The Game Boy was smaller, so it was more portable. Because this had like a horizontal setup as opposed to
tall,
right.
Which is more... This one's more like the modern day handheld.
Yeah, very much so. And it was pricey. And yeah, Nintendo still had a lot of cachet among people.
It's amazing. Things like this fascinate me. It was a better product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was ahead of its time. Mm-hmm. Like, the Game Boy Nintendo, which everyone had it, and everyone was familiar. But if you look back, like, if somebody went and never lived in that time and went back now, and you said, which one would you want, even for the price, everyone would go, Sega.
I would think that would be a no-brainer, yeah.
But because of the time you live in, and everything that was going on, and everyone was into Nintendo, and the price, overshadowed it. It's crazy.
And the games were great on the Game Gear. And right now they're like retro game collectors for the Game Gear. That's on the rise.
Right.
I think people are starting to sort of catch on to the really cool stuff that that was that was on there. Like I said, the Sonic the Hedgehog games were on there, which were all real good. Battletoads was on there, of course. There were some good RPGs that were on the system. There were some good fighting games that were on the system,
and they looked like the legit games.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They looked good, and they were unique. They didn't just. It wasn't like you didn't get the version from the other system. The Game Gear actually had a bigger library, close to 300. There were 363 games for the Game Gear, as opposed to in the U.S. for the Master System was like 113 or 117 or something like that, and worldwide I think it was like at 200 something.
Was this huge in Japan that they had so many games for it?
It wasn't huge, but
it did fine. Than the Game Boy in Japan?
No, definitely
Okay, so
not.
this just flat out failed. Not failed, but basically...
It did not compete with the Game Boy, yeah.
Around the world.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, no, yeah, Game Boy
I'm kind of surprised, because in Japan they sort of have a different mentality with those certain things.
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, it did fine in Japan.
Right.
It
maybe a little bit better than here, but still didn't do as good.
I mean, it did well enough, obviously, like I said, it had close to 400 games. It did well enough to have a big game library. So it's not as if it was, a total flop, but, like Nintendo Game Boy has that sort of legacy where people still remember it finally all these years later, and like people think, and a lot of people, they don't think of that.
But aside from the fact that it 8 batteries, and I understand the price, but you're getting...
Yeah, it was a cool system. I wonder how much the systems go for these days. I'll have to look into that one of these days. Because it was an awesome system. Real cool stuff.
I wonder if you can rig it to get TV receptions now.
See, why not? It would just be an antenna, so why not?
Can you just get high def with it? I thought you needed special antennas because it's a different frequency.
You would need, but by law they like.
Yeah, they have to. It's got to be
still be broadcasting. So yeah, so standard and high def, it doesn't matter. So you would still be able to, in theory, pick up TV with it, no problem.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of cool. So. All right, stick around. We'll be back in a minute. We're going to talk about the secret Monkey Island.
Yeah.
All right, we are back. We just got done talking about the Sega Game Gear, which was neat. I'm about to eat one of these Nutter Butter wafer things again. I really shouldn't, but they're tasty.
We're good.
Oh.
Is there peanut butter in that one?
Yeah. I was almost going to get, instead of these, I think they're from Little Debbie. The chocolate ones with the peanut butter, the wafers.
Oh, yeah, chocolate.
No, it's chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, but,
No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
When you're going peanut butter, you got to go Nutter Butter.
Oh, yeah, Nutter Butters. Yeah, I love Nutter Butters. If the Nabisco people are listening, send us free Nutter Butters, and we will take care of.
We'll eat them on screen.
So, what came out also in? I know you know. I mean, obviously you know because you have the show notes. October 1990. Lucasfilm Games came out with a point-and-click adventure game that became a huge classic.
Yes.
It's still beloved today. In fact, there's remakes that have come out.
On Xbox, actually. I think the remake.
The Secret of Monkey Island. I love this game.
Everybody loves this game.
You would be wrong to not love it.
I am admittedly, and I don't know if these people exist, but they must because I do. I was a big Sierra fan. I was a little bit of a snob when it came to other things outside of the Sierra universe at the time.
I preferred Sierra over Lucas Games as well.
And but Monkey Island was very well done.
And it holds up great.
Yep.
Holds up great because I did as soon when that remake came out on Xbox some years back, I scooped it up.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was so good. So, for those who don't know, The Secret of Monkey Island is a point-and-click graphical adventure game made by Lucasfilm Games. This is an old school sort of style of games where you have a sort of third-person perspective of your guy, and it's this, sort of pixel art, and you point where he needs to go, and he talks to people, and you have funny conversations. And
you have to type everything.
Yeah, you figure out what to do with your items. You'll get, like a piece of rope and a snail and and a dab of glue and a fake mustache.
And you got to figure out where in the game those things are used.
Like how to combine them to do some sort of thing.
You spend large amounts of time like trying to use the rope on everything you come in contact with.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, Secret of Monkey Island, and it spawned this whole series of games. But this has to do with Guybrush Threepwood, who's the protagonist, and he's on this fictional island. He wants to become a pirate, and he seeks out the pirate leaders, and he has to do these trials to become a pirate. And he ends up getting butting heads with LeChuck. LeChuck, the big bad evil pirate, and adventures ensue. Fun stuff. Right? The thing that separated the Lucasfilm games from Sierra was the Lucasfilm games were funny.
Yes. I mean, the Sierra games had some, Leisure Suit Larry, but that was more of an adult humor.
Right.
But, and King's Quest and stuff had humor, but not like Monkey Island.
Yeah, it was very jokey, very joke oriented, very joke focused.
It was more lighthearted.
You tell my mouth is full right now. I've never butter wafers.
Games, how many ended up coming out? Monkey Islands, how many were there? Like
the main series, there was The Secret of Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge.
Chuck's Revenge.
The Curse of Monkey Island.
That's okay, that one's on Xbox, I think, The Curse of Monkey Island.
Escape from Monkey Island.
Okay.
And Tales of Monkey Island.
How involved do you think George Lucas was in actually in making of these games?
Oh, none. It was just his name.
It was like his LucasArts. It was like the guys at his. He just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he wasn't involved in this.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was one of those things that he had an idea about and then they just ran with it, or.
In fact, the game was conceived by Lucasfilm employee Ron Gilbert.
Okay, there you go.
And he designed it with the famous Tim Schafer and Dave Grossman. Ron Gilbert is best known not only for Monkey Island, but for the Maniac Mansion game.
Oh, that's wow.
Yeah. Yes.
So he came up with Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion.
Yeah, he did that, and Dave Grossman went on to work with Telltale Games. So Telltale's good. But the big name, of course, is Tim Schafer. And Tim Schafer is one of the best known and beloved adventure game makers out there right now. He's now with Double Fine, but he was involved in Grim Fandango, Psychonauts, Brutal Age, Brutal Legend,
wow,
the Monkey Island games, Day of the Tentacle. This guy's this guy's a total.
Well, that's why the game was so good. Then all the guys that came off of that.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible group of names to be involved in the game. Yeah, when this came out, when it was remade on Xbox 360 a few years back, and they had like the upgraded graphics and art and all that, but it was neat because you could flip back and forth.
Yeah, you could switch it
to go to the old school style.
I like playing the old one probably because I played it originally on the old
Monkey Island. At least the first one did well. Unlike a lot of games in this genre, is that the puzzles weren't too insanely obscure.
Yeah, I agree that it wasn't as crazy.
Yeah, some of them are just like, who on earth is actually...
Yeah, those old school games were a little bit rough where you either had to... it's weird, I don't even remember how I figured out some of the things sometimes when you got stuck.
I think you just didn't finish the games. Right? I mean, with some of those adventure games, it's just sort of like you reach a point and you're like, unless you see it in a magazine or something.
I guess
it's not like you could go online and...
That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to... I beat certain... I beat Leisure Suit Larry. I beat King's Quest 3 and 2. But then I went back and played them and I was like, how did I figure this out? Because there's no way... But I guess I spent so much time playing... I guess some of them you spend so much time, eventually you stumble upon. And there was... These games often had those... things with them where if you did it a certain way, you missed out on certain things, but you could still remember. You could use the rope, do this, but because you didn't use it in the right situation, or the other situation, somebody died or somebody else, you didn't get to see this or that. Plus,
when you're younger, you're that age, right? The time when we were playing these. Well, your thinking is a little better for one,
right?
But two, you are putting a lot more time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Into a game. Like me, I play. I don't know. I can't imagine the kind of time that I must have devoted to mastering some of this stuff.
Coming home, Monkey Island and those Sierra games, that's what you did. When I was in those, you were just coming home from school and I was going straight upstairs to play on the computer.
Yeah.
Until it was way past bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I always loved that genre as well. I still love the adventure game genre.
But those is old school point and click that they don't make anymore. They came back out with King's Quest on Xbox and PC and all that stuff. Those newer ones, but
they do the genre actually is it's not popular, but there are loads of them out there now in that old style, and a lot of them are really, really good. Especially, I found on Android, on tablets and stuff like that. There's a lot of really good ones, and I don't mean remakes of the old ones,
right? Yeah,
but people doing
a fact, real quick.
A fact,
yeah. The man in the troll suit guarding the bridge on Melee Island.
Mm-hmm.
Is the pixelated version of the LucasArts founder, George Lucas.
Oh, I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
So now we know that George is in the game.
And the Disneyland ride Pirates of the Caribbean was a major inspiration for Monkey Island creator Ron Gilbert.
Better the games than the movies.
I agree.
Yeah, so cool stuff. We'll probably end up getting to another Monkey Island game later in this podcast series, since Monkey Island 2 came out in 1991.
Oh, very good.
So we'll talk about that possibly at some point in the future too. So come back in a minute. We're going to talk about the most 1990s thing of this whole show.
Oh, God.
Beverly Hills 90210. I have no idea what that
I'm sure we'll make
way of
something
saying
out
it
of
was.
it.
Absolutely. So we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, Mr. Tig.
Oh, hi.
You sound pretty excited.
I just
want to keep eating these things, and I really shouldn't. I probably ruined the audio of
that's okay.
previous segments by crunching on wafers.
I do that every episode,
right,
Eric.
right in the microphone. Yeah, I understand, but I like to leave the irresponsibility to you.
That's true.
I like to be the responsible one.
Well,
It's not entirely true. So, boy, Beverly Hills 90210 debuted October 4th, 1990. Did you realize that it not only debuted in October of 1990, it ran until May of 2000?
That is both impressive and disturbing.
10 seasons.
That was on for 10 years?
10 seasons of Beverly Hills 90210. Teenagers in the rich Beverly Hills school district.
wasn't the story actually that it was more about a family who wasn't that well off. Who moved, who lived outside of Beverly Hills.
That was Jason Priestley's family. Was the
right?
supposedly middle class,
right?
ones.
Yeah, middle class.
Yeah,
and they were going to this posh school.
Right.
That was the premise, right?
Yeah,
we're just normal kids going to a.
They were making their way in the world today.
Takes everything you've got.
I think that might be a different show. Now, did you realize that it got off to a poor start? The ratings were bad in the first season.
How shocking!
I think it is, because I remember it being huge right off the bat.
It was obnoxiously popular. Did your school have a sideburn thing going on when this show was popular?
What, you mean like an officially sanctioned sideburn thing? Sideburns definitely became popular, yeah.
I think I just remember being a sophomore and a junior in high school, and the seniors and the kids above me having a large portion of them having that Luke Perry, Justin Priestley sideburn thing.
Jason Priestley, Luke Perry, Brian Austin Green, they were all sporting the sideburns. I had sideburns.
I know. I just think it's funny that if you think about the fact that sideburns, not
no, I didn't have the hair.
No, you didn't have the bouffant.
Yeah, no, not that.
But the sideburns.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we should bring them back. Bring back the sideburns.
Not mutton chops, just these sort of sideburns that came down to the bottom part of your ear.
I had mutton chops too.
Did you? See, that's different though.
But because once all my facial hair came in, it was something different every few weeks.
Right.
Because you could.
Right.
And you get bored, and
yeah.
So I had mutton chops, and I had sideburns, and I had full beards, and I had what chin straps? Is that what you would call it?
Okay. You had those?
No, not like that. Not like
the thin.
No, never did that. That's too manicured for me. I can't deal with that.
But I'm talking 90210 sideburns. Those straight cut down to the bottom of the ear.
Yeah, no, I definitely did that. But I did that with long hair.
Right.
Yeah, the show was big, and I watched it for a little while. I can't say that I would necessarily call myself like a fan, like that I had been a fan, but I watched it.
Everybody, whether you liked it or not, I think reluctantly
Had to at least seen some of it, right?
Yeah, like I've seen episodes of it. I didn't watch it every week at all, but I think I always felt like there was a lot more girls that watched it than boys.
Well,
I
yeah,
know a lot of boys. It was a soap opera.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a teen soap opera, right? Of course, Shannon Doherty was the big one. Jenny Garth, Tori Spelling, but like on Wiki, there was that other girl, the nerd girl.
The older, she was like 40 when she was on it.
Was she?
She was old. Like Luke Perry.
Gabrielle is this going to be her?
Luke Perry was pretty old in comparison to the rest of them. Doesn't give her age. Oh wait, here we go. Gabrielle Cardias was
she's
the
56
oldest,
right now.
She was the oldest cast member. She was 29 years old when she was cast as a 16-year-old Andrea Zuckerman.
Wow.
She was 29.
Good for her. So, all right, do you remember any 90210 like stories, like storylines? There's got to be.
I'm sure there was a drug one, right?
Obviously, there had to have been. I don't remember what it might have been.
I have no memory of any episode.
I
just remember that Shannon Doherty.
Didn't Luke Perry come in later? He wasn't season 1, wasn't he? Like he came in. He was like what's it? Richard Grieco, 21 Jump Street. Remember he came in later.
Yeah, I think he was. I don't think he started out on it.
No, it looks like he was in for the first season. Wow, he was in 200 episodes of the show.
Wow,
200 episodes. Poor guy. And what has he done since? He's done a lot, but it's all just like this one-off. Oh, wow. He was the voice of Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm.
Defenders of the Realm.
I guess it's Luke Perry. It was a 13-episode animated series.
I always felt like Luke Perry was in the same boat as the Twilight guy. Like Luke Perry always kind of seemed like he wasn't real comfortable with it.
Right, that's Robert Pattinson. Yeah, see,
there's like an uncomfortableness with it. Like you didn't feel like you were living up to your expectations as an actor.
Yeah, I guess he had. I remember him initially as Cedric.
Yeah,
from the Harry Potter, the Goblet of Fire one. All right, so Shannon Doherty, total bitch, right?
Well, that was the
she went on to go into Charmed, which was a cool show. But then she even got drummed out of that show because she was still a total bitch.
I guess she was hard to work with or something.
Because and Charmed, I remember because it had Alyssa Milano, who was like a lifelong crush. And it was better after Shannon Doherty got booted, and they brought in what's her name? I don't know her name. The one who dated Marilyn Manson. She was sort of gothy.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember her name either, but...
Because it was always Alyssa Milano, the one from that show, was it like Picket Fences or something like that?
Oh my god, Picket Fences.
Yeah. And then first Shannon Doherty, and then Goth chick. That
everyone knows but can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
And has a show now, like...
Does she have a show now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was on something recently.
I don't know. And then Jenny Garth, what has Jenny Garth done? No one cares about what Tori Spelling has done.
Oh, God.
Tori Spelling, I know you're listening because you don't have a life. Go to hell.
Oh, my
Go to
Lord.
hell. No, she does that. No, I'm sorry. You know what? She does have a life. She's got a family. She's raising kids, and she's very proud of her kids, and she loves her kids. So, you know what? That is a life.
Good for you.
Good for you. You can still go to hell, but... I'm just saying. So Jenny Garth, what did she do after this?
Jenny Garth was probably the main reason I even watched.
She was a cutie. She did a bunch of stuff, but not a lot.
I don't think many...
Wait, oh, that's right. Duh, I'm so stupid. What I Like About You. She had that sitcom for a while.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, she had a sitcom where she played like the sister of Amanda Bynes. The crazy...
Jeez.
Yeah, her and Amanda Bynes were sisters. She was the older sister. Amanda Bynes was the younger one.
How many episodes did that run?
It was huge.
Really?
It was a big show. 86 episodes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, it was a long-running show. It sort of made Amanda Bynes a star. Apparently, there's some really like gossipy stories off the set of Amanda Bynes being a total C-word.
Well, she has things going on, right? Like actual, like legitimate mental.
And after the show.
Right, but maybe, you know.
But like during the show, apparently she was like super difficult to deal with, and she would like do awful things to Jenny Garth. Like,
really?
Sabotage. There's some really like weird gossipy stuff. Wait a minute, she had a reality show. Jenny Garth, A Little Bit Country.
What year was...
2012.
What year was it? 2012?
2012.
Wow, so that's recently. You want to hear a quick? You mentioned before it wasn't an immediate hit.
That's
Do
right.
you want to know why it became an immediate hit?
Yes, I do.
There are 2 reasons.
I definitely want to hear
According
this.
to
Tell me.
the interweb.
What are the reasons?
Okay, it wasn't an immediate hit, but that changed because of 2 key moves.
Tori Spelling got implants.
Close. A season 1 finale that saw Brenda lose her virginity to Dylan.
Ooh! Oh, snap!
And the decision to begin airing the show's 2nd season in the summer.
Ah.
That's weird.
But it makes sense, though.
Right, because nothing else is on.
And all the kids are out of school.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what?
I think-
What? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we milked the 90210.
I was just about to say I'm done. I'm done. I had my fill my fill of this. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I mean, we're probably the wrong people to be talking about the shows because we were 2 dudes, and we weren't. Were we still teenagers then?
It was
yeah, actually we
1990.
were. Yeah, we were. I mean, really, the only reason to watch the show was like there were cute girls.
Well, that's the reason why the girls watched it, was because there was cute boys.
That's fair point.
Like, you can't. It wasn't like it was good.
Fair point. Well,
Not good, but you know what I mean.
I think they did think it was good.
Okay,
They were
well,
engrossed.
Yes, but if it was, us on the show,
What?
it wasn't getting watched.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. I was a handsome lad.
I was a handsome young lad with long hair.
That's true.
We're gonna post a picture of Eric with his long hair later.
No, I don't
at some
think you
point.
should. My tooth hurts.
Uh-oh.
All right, come back in a minute, and we're gonna. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something.
We're gonna do something.
Settle back now, content, comfortable, well-fed, and ready for some fine entertainment. Is everybody happy? Then let's go.
Hey, welcome back. You're looking at email stuff. Is there
I'm
something
looking
that's
at
amazing you?
No, I'm looking at our Nerd Out email.
Was there amazing stuff in the Nerd Out email?
Yes, there was a lot of people that like to send us comments on Twitter.
Well, that's always good.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
I think people listening should send us comments to nerdoutwithmeshow@gmail.com.
I agree.
Or leave comments on the various places, what would be like YouTube and wherever the hell they get this podcast and stuff like that, which would be kind of neat.
We like comments. We respond.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
I respond.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean,
Fair enough.
I feel like if you want to respond, you can.
I'll respond. I got time.
I'm withdrawing from the internet. This whole nerd out.
That's not going to work with us.
This whole nerd out thing is about the extent of my interneting these days. I'm trying to pull myself away.
Well, that's fine because you can be
no more Facebook, no more Twitter, no more of the internet.
You could be the guy who just emerges from the attic to like do these broadcasts and do the show on YouTube.
Do you think?
And then go back into the
like the 17-year cicada?
Yes.
Like that. So, what are we supposed to be wrapping up? Oh, well, I guess we're gonna, when we're done here, record our bonus episode where we talk about
what are the topics for the Patreon subscribers?
Troll 2,
Yeah!
the cult classic, and as well we'll probably touch on the remake of Night of the Living Dead as well, which also came out this month, meaning October of 1990. And you can find that at patreon.com/nerdoutwithme. We are on all the different social media channels.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Eric's favorite is Facebook.
I don't know. I'm feeling in a grumpy mood today. The rabbits have been eating my stuff.
He's been very upset about the rabbit situation in his yard.
they're
They're devouring what has been months of work.
Yeah.
Seriously, not even joking. Months of work that I've seen when I come to your house. Inside, just growing stuff, and then outside, and then to see it all be mowed down by a bunch of giant-eared rodents.
It's kind of irritating.
It's very it's very irritating.
It is, and I don't want to hurt them. I'm not looking to hurt them. I don't, but I want them all to get fast-acting lupus. I used to like having the bunnies in the yard too. You look out, oh look, there's bunny in the front yard. Isn't it nice? Until they started eating all my effing stuff.
No respect.
F you, bunnies. F you, and the horse you rode in on. This has been Eric.
And this was Tig.
Have a good night, except for you effing bunnies.
You've plenty of
of time, so visit the snack bar now. A tasty treat will double your enjoyment of the show. For your convenience, we shall keep you informed of the remaining intermission time.
The next show will start in 9 minutes.